stuff like that. And, you know, just recycle whatever you have and just donate it. Just donate whatever you have in your office.
Can we put you on this room, Big Boom?
Yes.
Is that yours?
Yes.
I like that.
Since we're coming around again, one of the big things, and I was trying to address it a little bit, give it a little more depth at this moment. We need a massive focus on all government starts local. We've heard that many times, and we need to focus on that. So going along with the idea I mentioned, let's reinvest in the smaller businesses, the local businesses, to incentivize them to grow. But I'd also like to see something else to go along with that, which is to focus on vocational skills. Our country is in a dearth, a massive need for machinists, for carpenters, electricians, plumbers. That is getting even worse. The estimate is that in 5 years, we're not just going to be short these individuals, we're going to be desperately short these individuals. We're going to be importing these individuals from other countries. But we have an opportunity here. I mean, we want to talk about people being able to have a good life, to live in the middle class, even the upper class. You know how much money an electrician can make, a plumber can make? Once they've gotten their career, they've gotten their training, we need to emphasize that. And working with that, with an incentive to the smaller businesses, allows them to grow, allows them to stay in our community, and it allows our community to redevelop and to grow again. to grow again. And I know I'm running out of time, so I'll be very brief. The other thing I also would caution and ask at every level of government, we have a lot of bills that are getting pushed through at various levels of government, good, bad, whatever you may think about it. Not a lot of thoughts being put to the consequences of those bills. Whether you love the initial idea or not, we're seeing that bills are coming through and consequences are coming back because it was rushed forward. And this is all parties, everyone has done this, not just this year or last year or the year before. We're talking about decades now. But we're hitting a point where it's just getting insane. And the consequences are coming at us much faster and much more harshly. We need to take a moment to slow down this process and really work on these bills and really build into them the fail-safes so that we're not seeing a lot of the problems that we're seeing right now. And again, I'm not picking on any party or any person. This is all government at all levels. So it's just, I think all of that together builds our local community, and all of the local communities build the state, that builds the nation, and everyone does better at every level of government.
Doing a temperature reading of the room. Anybody else wanna share? Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
One thing that I just want to touch on, last July, my wife was sworn in as a U.S. citizen. And a lot of people don't realize the costs and the red tape that go along with that. For example, the application fees are over $1,000. How much you have to pay to have all your documents from your home country interpreted so they'll be actually accepted by immigration. And I think a lot of that needs to really be streamlined and cleaned up so it's a lot easier for these people, not so expensive.
I'd like to pick up on what this gentleman just talked about in terms of vocational education. Back in the mid-90s, I spent a year living suburban Baltimore. There was a PBS show focused on education systems. And they focused on the United States, Europe, but specifically Germany and Japan. So in the United States, essentially, go through high school, hey, the guidance counselor says, your college material, let me help you with making sure you have your applications taken care of and make sure you submit to a safety school and all this good stuff. You're not college material, are you going into the military? Yes, no, No, well, good luck, bye, out the door. In Germany, they have specific paths for all the different academic achievement levels, whether it's onto higher education or into vocational trades, and there is no goodbye, good luck, you're out the door kind of a thing. They funnel an awful lot of their secondary education graduates into vocational trades. They help them just the same as they help the college people find the right school, the right trade, the right school, and they're onto a career path where they can make excellent wages. In Japan, at that same time, everybody was killing themselves, studying 12 hours a day, etc., to get into college because that seemed to be the only solution. But even there, if you didn't get into a higher education, they had a trade for you. That's something that we just don't have that focus in our secondary education, and we don't have the resources, if you did want to take advantage of that, to go into these trade schools and have the necessary support to succeed there. So that's, I think, something that could be focused on as well.
Thank you.
Just to play off on what this gentleman was saying, my brother-in-law is from Switzerland, and he freely admits that he was a total asshole in school. And because of that, he was tracked. I'm not a big fan of tracking. I mean, I know our educational system is a complete mess, but he was tracked to become a mechanic. He is not mechanically inclined at all. He can't fix anything. So he went into the military. They all do in Switzerland. He did get an education there. As soon as he was able to save up some money, he came from a very rural farming area, agricultural area in Switzerland, which is hard to believe because it's all mountains, but they do have farms. And he saved up and first went to Israel. For some reason, he worked on a kibbutz. I have no idea why, but he went to this country, went to a community college, moved on to a higher education, and now he has his doctorate, and he's a professor in Middlebury, Vermont. And he's the pride and joy of his family because they were like, you were a jerk. Now he's a comparative literature professor. He loves it, and I mean, he wants to become a United States citizen. I keep saying, why don't you? He's still a Swiss citizen. He's got his green card and talking about how expensive it is. He still has his old green card with an old picture. He's white and gray now. The picture he's got is, he's much younger, and it's got a thumbprint and everything, but now everything is all barcode. He absolutely hates the way the green cards have been changed, and it's going to be expensive for him to get the new barcode. He went recently to visit his family in Switzerland, and he said everybody behind him was cursing him out because he didn't have the little swipe card. He had to have everybody go through his records, and he was a dinosaur. But he benefited from this country and the education. We shouldn't just, I mean, tracking, I know, it does work in some areas. We used to talk about it all the time, like, why do I have this kid in my class? But sometimes, I mean, that's one example, but he really likes the education he got here and has succeeded.
Anyone who has not spoken who would like the opportunity to do so before we close the evening?
I arrived late, so apologies if this is already discussed.
That's okay.
But I guess one thing that I've noticed in our community, the problem is there's a lot of just litter everywhere, like by the side of the road or in public shopping space or somewhere like that. And you know, it's not just unsightly, it is very unsightly. but it also, it gets into our environment. Eventually, if it's not picked up, it flows into the river, and then it goes out to the ocean and becomes part of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is all popular. And, obviously, I don't know how we get people to just like pick up their trash and throw it away in a proper, receptacle. I'll be walking by the road, and I'll start just picking up all the stuff that I see on the road, throw it away, just to leave it fixed up. But I'm one person, right? You can't do it all. So
He does it too, he
I
said.
do it too.
I do it too.
So how can we encourage people to not throw stuff away, and also can we get the state or the county or somebody, I know they have crews that go around and pick this up periodically. Is there a way to get them to do that more frequently?
Thank you.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
So in Vermont, they have what's called Green Day, and it's a statewide day, and it's in spring after all the snow melts, and the entire state picks up their neighborhoods. And I think we should have it before the SUNY students leave, so sometime in April before their exams, but also because they are always looking for civic opportunities and sit through their civic engagement. And if we had a county-wide Green Day, and maybe even like Earth Day, but we made it also about cleaning up our neighborhoods, and just made it sort of a big event, that would be. And then as to what you were saying, I had a friend who was a student who hated high school really, and he graduated and he went to Best Buy, and he quickly rose to as high as he was ever gonna work at Best Buy, be at Best Buy. And I said, go to the unions, because everybody's retiring, and took the test, and I think, and is in the apprenticeship program for the electricians union. And I think one of the things that's happening is that BOCES is really expensive for the school districts, and so I was thinking that perhaps getting the unions to even get more involved in the BOCES program and helping to fund perhaps some of that, for students who don't really want to be in your classroom. They are more experiential, hands-on, and they don't want to sit and listen to whatever we have to say.
Thank you.
My name is Janet. I live on the north side of Binghamton, lived in Broome County most of my life. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for representing us. Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you for spending your time coming here listening to people. I don't think you guys get thanked enough for the job you do. So thank you.
That would be a good closing, but anyone else? So I'm gonna echo thank yous. It's wonderful having you here to come and share what you're thinking and to listen to people who I get the sense who care very deeply about our community. So thank you for being here. And for those of you who took time out of your night tonight, I love this dialogue. I very much value that we can come and share ideas and be civil, and maybe we do need to do more. At our college, there is a person who this role of civic discourse and civic learning, this person has carried the torch for over 40 years. And when the college goes in this direction, Doug Garner was always the one saying, let's not forget that students need to understand what it means to be civically educated and to be civically engaged. And we're here tonight because of Doug. So thank you for this. Any parting words? Anybody? I'll open the floor. Does anybody want to share thoughts?
Just my appreciation for this night. It's my first time here, and I was at a and just to find the language again about all my concerns, how to speak to them, and everyone who shared has helped with that, and I too appreciate our officials and Doug, who not only on campus, but out in the community in so many ways, helps to educate us and give us the words for those things that we're really interested in. And we impact and are impacted by them. Just wanted to say that.
So we, again, did not record what was spoken. We are taking your surveys and what you wrote, and that's how we're compiling the information that will formally be shared with our elected officials for their review, what we will be sharing with the press for them to look at what came out of tonight. So please, even if you're not gonna fill the whole thing out for me, although please do, at least give me the what you think we need to be prioritizing, so that we can pull all that together. And with that, have a great night.
Thank you.